Beloved child, stop everything and listen, because this moment is not accidental but divinely orchestrated, a heavenly appointment written before time began, and I have led you here to reveal that the battles, betrayals, delays, and silent seasons you endured were never signs of abandonment but proof of the extraordinary anointing, calling, and destiny placed on your life that hell has been terrified of since the day you were born. Every tear you cried, every night you wrestled with anxiety, every moment you felt forgotten has been seen, counted, and held in my hands. And now the lies spoken over you for Leah, worthlessness, rejection, delay, weakness, disqualification are being shattered as I declare that you are chosen, powerful, priceless, restored, protected, strengthened, and positioned for breakthroughs that will unfold over the next 7, 21, and 40 days in the form of divine provision, supernatural healing, unexpected connections, open doors, and total transformation. The enemy fought you so fiercely because he knew that once you stepped into your true identity, chains would break, darkness would crumble, and nations would be impacted through your life, which is why this moment of obedience, your agreement, your faith, your willingness to act and respond is the key that unlocks the manifestation of what heaven has already prepared for you. So choose life, choose truth, choose breakthrough, declare victory as yours, type breakthrough is mine, and step boldly into the new season I have promised, for I am with you, I have never forgotten you, and the greatest days of your life are not behind you, but just beginning. My precious child, I have been watching you more closely than you could ever imagine, counting every tear that soaked your pillow at 3 a.m., holding you when your heart was collapsing behind the smile you showed others, and strengthening you in those moments when you whispered, "I don't think I can do this anymore," believing no one heard. I have seen every silent prayer, every wordless cry, every night you stared at the ceiling wondering if your pain mattered. And though you felt alone in your struggle, heaven has been listening to every breath you didn't know was a prayer. You did not stumble onto this message by chance. I redirected your steps through millions of distractions so you would see this truth. You are not forgotten, not for a moment, not for an hour, not even for a heartbeat. And everything that felt delayed or unanswered is now shifting. A line is being drawn in your story. The long season of waiting is breaking open, and in the next part I will speak directly to the wounds left by betrayal, rejection, and abandonment that still echo in your heart, because it is time for healing to begin. My child, I saw every betrayal that broke your trust, every moment when people you would have defended with your life walked away, twisted your kindness into weakness, and used your vulnerability against you, leaving you alone with questions that felt too heavy to carry. I watched a friend who suddenly went silent, the family member who became a source of pain instead of protection, and the person you trusted most turn your openness into a weapon, and through all of it, I heard you whisper in the dark, "Do I even matter? Does God still remember my name?" My answer has always been yes, yes. I saw every tear. Yes, I guarded your heart when you were barely holding on. Yes, I was there in every moment you felt abandoned, and none of this pain was invisible to me even when others refused to understand or apologize. What tried to break you will become part of what I used to build you. And in the next part I will remind you how deeply I know your name, how long you've been carried in my heart, and why you have never once left my thoughts. Beloved, I have never once forgotten your name. For before anyone on earth knew you existed, I had already spoken your name with love, written it into my heart, and carried you in my thoughts through every moment of your life. You are not one face in a crowd to me, but a deeply intentional, personal creation whose voice, worries, and quiet tears I have watched over morning and night, guarding you while you slept and making ways for you even when you believed I had moved on. Not once have you slipped from my awareness, not once have you been pushed aside, and even in your loneliest hours when silence felt like it would crush you, I was holding your heart with a tenderness you did not recognize. In the next part, I will reveal why your battles have been so intense and why the enemy has fought your life with such relentless force. My child, let me show you what has truly been happening behind the scenes. The enemy has not attacked you because you are weak, but because of the powerful calling I placed inside you, one that threatens darkness and breaks chains in the lives of others. Every heavy pressure, every discouragement, every wound caused by people close to you was strategic warfare meant to make you doubt your worth, question my promises, and silence the influence you carry. What looked like setbacks, delays, and disappointments were attempts to exhaust you into giving up, yet the very fact that you are still here, still breathing, still reading these words proves the enemy has failed. You may be wounded, but you are still standing, and I am far from done with you. My child, the enemy has been working tirelessly to plant a false story in your mind, repeating lies so often that they began to sound like your own thoughts, convincing you that you are a failure, forgotten, unworthy, and destined for smallness. But tonight I am tearing down every one of those lies, replacing them with my truth that you are called to impact the world, chosen before time began, priceless beyond measure, and already stepping into restoration that is unfolding even now. The very scars the enemy tried to use to shame you will become testimonies of my healing power, and the opportunities he told you were gone are the very ones I am preparing to open in ways no one can shut. His goal has always been to steal your hope and destroy your identity, but I have come to give you overflowing, meaningful life. And now you must choose whose voice will define your future. My child, there comes a moment when you must decide whose words you will build your life upon, because you cannot keep agreeing with the voice that tears you down and still expect to rise into who I made you to be. I am inviting you to choose life, to believe my truth over the enemy's lies, to reject labels that were never yours, and to speak my promises over your future instead of repeating your fears. When you align your thoughts and words with mine, you are not pretending but returning to the reality of who you truly are. And though your feelings may tremble, your spirit will begin to grow strong. This choice is spiritual, not emotional, because the moment you choose my voice, you break agreement with darkness and step into the realm where breakthrough begins. My child, when I say I am moving, I am not speaking in vague or symbolic terms. I mean real shifts that will unfold in real time, marked by visible signs that gently whisper, I am here, I am working. In the days ahead, conversations, opportunities, and unexpected confirmations will align so clearly with what your heart has been hearing that you will know these moments are not coincidences but divine footprints guiding your steps. Some doors will close as an act of my protection, and new ones will quietly open in places you never thought to pray about, answering long-buried desires you didn't know how to express. I am inviting you to watch with expectation rather than anxiety, trusting that I am redirecting, providing, and moving in ways that only unfold when you let me be God. My child, I see the weight of your financial worries, the quiet calculations you do at night, and the heaviness you feel when what's in your hands seems too small. Yet I care for both your soul and your practical needs, providing breath for your lungs and bread for your table. I am preparing unexpected provision through opportunities you didn't anticipate, favor you didn't pursue, open doors in your work, ideas that multiply what you have, or support that arrives just when you need it, because I have been working in unseen places on your behalf. You do not need to chase everything in fear. You simply need to walk with me in trust, knowing that I will shoulder the weight with you and teach you that provision is not only for survival but for generosity. As I supply your needs, I will also show you people to bless, for my economy is built on trust, faithfulness, and giving rather than panic or scarcity. My child, I know how deeply past relationships have wounded you, yet even as some used you, misunderstood you, or left you in moments you needed support the most, I have prepared new people who will walk with you, understand you, and help carry you into your calling. I am arranging divine connections, ordinary moments that turn into destiny appointments, mentors who speak life, partners who build with you, and friendships that feel familiar because your spirits recognize each other. At the same time, I am creating distance from those who cannot go where you are going, and though it may feel painful or confusing, this separation is protection, not punishment. For some people were meant only for a chapter, not the whole story. I want your circle to become a place of peace rather than chaos, and as you release what I am removing, you will find yourself surrounded by those who lift, support, and strengthen your journey. My child, I see the weariness in your body, mind, and soul, the recurring pain, the frightening symptoms, the anxiety that tightens your chest, and the exhaustion that never seems to fade. And I am not distant from any of it. I who formed your body am able to renew it, and even now I am touching places doctors couldn't heal, breaking patterns of anxiety you couldn't escape, and reaching emotional wounds medicine cannot access, whether through treatment or through my direct power. As you lean into me, you will notice small shifts: a clearer mind, deeper rest, lighter thoughts, softer pain, and these are not coincidences, but signs that healing has begun. I am working both in what you can feel and in what you cannot, restoring strength where you believed you would always remain weak. My child, I have seen every relationship that left marks on your heart, those that blessed you, those that wounded you, and those that ended without closure, and I know the questions that still linger inside you. Not every connection from your past is meant to return, because some doors I closed to protect you, but there are specific relationships woven with purpose that I am able to restore in unexpected ways through apologies, renewed conversations, and healing. I will give you the wisdom to know which bridges to cross and which to leave in my hands, for restoration is not always returning to what was, but freeing your heart from bitterness so you can move forward whole. What I rebuild will be stronger and healthier than before, and what I keep closed will lift from your spirit as peace and release instead of regret. My child, everything I have promised is real, and heaven has already moved on your behalf with angels assigned, resources prepared, and doors unlocked. Yet I will not force these things upon you, because you must choose whether to step forward or stay in what feels familiar. Faith is not only a feeling but a response, expressed through what you do, choosing forgiveness, speaking life over your future, or taking a small step even when the path is unclear. When you feel prompted to act, whether by writing what you believe for, speaking my promises aloud, reaching out to someone, starting something new, or releasing something old, these are not random urges but invitations to partner with me. Every moment you respond is your heart saying, I trust you more than my fear, and that is where breakthrough begins to accelerate. My child, what I am doing in your life is deeply personal, yet it is not meant to remain hidden, because there are people connected to your journey who are quietly waiting for the hope you will one day carry, even while you are still in process. Your simple acts of obedience, encouraging someone, sharing a word, sending a message, or passing along what blessed you can become the very answer to someone else's prayer. As you comfort others with the comfort I have given you, you become a living reminder that they are seen, loved, and not alone, and in the process, your own healing grows deeper. This is not pressure but privilege, for you are not responsible for changing anyone. You are simply invited to be a vessel through which my hope flows. My child, my kingdom does not operate the way the world does. For while the world teaches you to hold tightly and protect yourself first, I teach that giving creates room for greater blessing. When you place your time, kindness, forgiveness, encouragement, or resources into my hands, I multiply them in ways far beyond your ability. And every hidden act of love or integrity becomes a seed that guarantees a future harvest. Nothing you have done in sincerity has been overlooked or wasted, and the seeds you sowed in tears will return to you in unexpected doors, renewed strength, and quiet breakthroughs. As you continue living open-handed, you will see me honor your obedience in areas you did not even realize were connected. My child, one of the enemy's quietest tactics is getting you to say later to what I ask you to do now, turning small delays into missed opportunities that fear and hesitation quietly steal from you. Faith is not reckless but responsive, and the gentle tugs you've ignored the urge to reach out, forgive, start, stop, or step forward were moments designed to shape the season ahead of you. What you choose in these small decisions will influence the long path you walk, and I am not asking you to leap blindly but to trust the one who already sees what is waiting on the other side of your yes. You must decide whether to remain in the safety of what you know or step into the growth, breakthrough, and transformation I have already prepared for you. My child, I am calling you to live with expectation instead of dread, because in the days ahead you will begin to see confirmations, repeated phrases, aligned messages, and timely reminders that whisper, I am with you, and I am making things new. Small breakthroughs will appear first. Gentle shifts will follow, and soon the areas that once felt stuck will begin to move as deeper transformations reshape your habits, perspectives, and opportunities. You will not wake up instantly perfect, but you will recognize that you are no longer where you once were, because the change happening around you is matched by the change I am working within you. Where despair ruled, hope will rise. Where fear lived, peace will settle. Where confusion lingered, clarity will grow, marking the true beginning of a new chapter, not just a polished version of the old one. My child, as I move in your life, I don't want you to focus only on what I do, but to remember who you are in me. Wasn't beloved, and never defined by your mistakes or the labels others placed on you. I see every part of you, even the pieces you hide, and I call you mine, covering your past with forgiveness and shaping your future with purpose. When shame whispers you are unworthy, insecurity claims you don't deserve good things, or fear paints your future as dark, answer with the truth that my goodness carries you and I am walking ahead of you step by step. You are more than your worst day, more than your failures or successes, and nothing will ever change the fact that you are a child of the Most High. My child, now that you have heard my heart, I am inviting you to respond in a way that feels real and honest for you, even if it is just whispering, God, I'm listening, writing a simple note, or taking a quiet moment to breathe and talk with me. Mark this moment in some small way, because it will become a turning point where you choose willingness over fear, honesty over silence, and openness over trying to carry everything alone. As you tell me where you're afraid, where you're tired, where you're hopeful, and invite me into the places you usually face by yourself, you are saying, I choose your voice, your plan, and your presence over everything trying to pull me away. I am not asking for perfection, I am asking for your sincere yes. And from that yes I will guide, lead, and strengthen you into a future greater than you have imagined. My child, hear this final word over your life. Your story is not ending in the pit where you've been, because this season of discouragement and delay is not your permanent home. I am leading you into a new chapter filled with healing, clarity, growth, and breakthrough. You will still face challenges, but you will not face them as the same person. The fears that once controlled you will lose their grip, the things that once broke you will no longer define you, and places where you only saw defeat will begin to show victory. You are loved beyond measure, valued beyond words, chosen with intention, and destined for more than you have yet imagined, and everything I have spoken over you will be completed in my perfect timing. So lift your head, whisper breakthrough is mine because God is with me, and let this moment become the line in the sand where you decide never again to live as if you are forgotten, for you are seen, held, guided, and my work in you is far from finished. If you want to receive your blessings instantly, I have a secret video in my YouTube profile bio.